You know, in every sport, we love the legends. We love the moments of pure glory. But the stories that really stick with us, they're the comeback stories. The ones about fighting against impossible odds. So let's get right into one of the most unbelievable championship stories you're going to hear all year.
It sounds totally contradictory, doesn't it? I mean, how can you possibly be a champion in your sport if you can't even play the game? Well, that question was front and center at NBA All-Star Weekend, and trust me, the answer is just incredible.
All right, to get this story, you have to know about Damian Lillard. We're talking about a superstar, a true leader who found himself in the fight of his life. And it wasn't against another team, it was against his own body.
Just let that sink in. A player of his status, a 9-time All-Star, completely out of action. He's been on the sidelines doing rehab, just watching his team go on without him. The thought of him even competing for anything this year, well, it just seemed impossible.
So this timeline here, it maps out this whole journey of total devastation to, well, unbelievable resilience. It all started in April with a torn Achilles. And you have to understand, that injury is historically a career killer for athletes. Then you've got surgery in May, a show of loyalty to his team in July, and then, somehow, he's back on a court in February. Not for a game, no, but for the three-point contest.
And here's the best part. It all kicked off as a total joke. Lillard was just chatting with an NBA executive and kind of threw his name out there for fun. He said they both just laughed about it. But then, what do you know, a spot actually opened up. And suddenly, that joke got very real. Dame time was officially back.
Okay, so the stage is set. It's All-Star Saturday night. You've got Lillard, the injured vet, going up against a whole field of the league's absolute best shooters. The competition was just fierce, and one guy, wow, he came out with his sights set on that trophy.
And that guy was Devin Booker. He dropped a massive 30 points in the first round. He looked completely unstoppable, like he was just going to walk away with the whole thing. Lillard, on the other hand, barely scraped by to get into that final round.
But then came the finals. And Lillard, he found that old rhythm. He looked fresh, he was locked in, and he put up a huge score, 29. An amazing performance that put every ounce of pressure right back onto Devin Booker. And this is what makes sports so dramatic. It all comes down to this single moment. Booker, a former champ, is at his last rack, the Moneyball rack, where every single shot is worth 2 points. He's sitting at 27. All he needs to do is make one of his last 3 shots to win. Just one.
He missed the first. The whole crowd just went silent. He missed the second one. You could literally feel the tension cranking up. And then, with the championship on the line, on the very last ball, he missed again. And just like that, in this wild turn of events, Damian Lillard, the guy who hadn't played all season long, was the three-point champion. Unbelievable.
Man, and you just got a feel for Devin Booker. That is such a tough moment to swallow. It's just a brutal reminder of how thin that line is between winning and losing. For Booker, it was pure heartbreak, but for Lillard, it was history.
Now, while Lillard's comeback was obviously the huge story of the night, it wasn't the only one. That whole theme of the underdog grabbing their moment, it kept right on going in the slam dunk contest, where it all came down to art and just being consistent. I just love this quote from the guy who ended up winning, Keshad Johnson. He's not talking about dunking like it's just some athletic trick. To him, it's personal expression. It's about taking a move and putting your own spin on it, your own signature.
And that's exactly how the contest went down. Bryant threw down the single most jaw-dropping dunk of the night, a perfect 50. But when the pressure was on, he couldn't land his final dunk. And that opened the door for Keshad Johnson, who, with his creativity and consistency, took home the trophy. Just another underdog stepping up and seizing the spotlight.
Okay, but let's circle back to Damian Lillard, because his win, man, it was about so much more than just a piece of hardware. It was this huge statement about what's possible, even when you're facing what looks like a career-ending injury. This win put him in some seriously elite company. We're talking about joining legends like Larry Bird as a 3-time winner. But even bigger than that, it started to change the whole story around the Achilles tear. His win was this real, visible sign of hope for an injury that has just destroyed so many careers. And that's coming straight from Lillard himself. He is living proof that if you put in the work, this awful injury doesn't have to be the end of your career. It could just be a detour, a hurdle you have to get over on your way back to your prime. I mean, what an incredibly powerful message. And what's really cool is, he's already paying that message forward. He's been talking with another huge star, Jayson Tatum, who's going through that same brutal recovery process right now.
So Lillard's win, it's not just for him, it's like a beacon of hope for every other athlete out there fighting their way back.
So we end up right back where we started. For Damian Lillard, victory this year wasn't about a championship ring or an MVP trophy. No, it was about proving to himself and to everyone watching that even when you're on the sidelines, the heart of a champion never, ever stops beating. It was a win for resilience, a win for hope, and a powerful reminder that sometimes the biggest victories have nothing to do with the final score.